In today's video, we're going to be creating this interactive coffee shop sales dashboard in Power BI. I already have Power BI open and I've created a blank project, so you can go ahead and do that. Link to this data set as well as the image we're going to use for the background is going to be, the link is going to be in the description box below. So the first thing we're going to do is insert our data. So I'm going to select get data from another source, and we are going to select the text/CSV format, and I'm going to connect, and I'm going to select my data set and I'm going to open this, and I'm just going to give this data set a moment to load, and so Power BI can connect to it. So this is what we have. We have transaction ID, date, time, day of the week, yeah, so on and so forth. I can just scroll over to this side so you can just see all of this. But anyway, that's it. Let's just go ahead and load the data. No changes will be made, so I'm just going to load it, and we're just going to give this a moment to load. So my data set has been successfully loaded, and what we're going to do is come over to table view, and under date, let's change the format of this date. So select the date column, and we're going to use the short date format, and I'm going to come over to where we have let's start with unit price. Let's change the currency to United States dollars. I'm going to also change total sale to United States dollars. I think that should be it. Yeah, that's it for this particular data set. If there's anything we need to come and change again, we'll come back to that. But let's go back to the report view. Let's start by changing the wallpaper. So over here in format your report page, I'm going to click on this. Now under wallpaper, come over to browse, and I'm going to select add file, and I'm going to select my background. Once again, this images, the link for this image is going to be in the description box below along with the dataset, and I'm just going to open it, and we're going to have this background. Now let's start building our visuals. The first thing we're going to do is add our the title for our dashboard. So go over to the insert tab, and in case you're wondering why mine looks different, I just like having this ribbon in a more compact view, so that's why the ribbon is much smaller. So here I'm just going to select this, and I'm going to add a text box. So let's type the title of our dashboard. This is going to be coffee shop sales dashboard, and I'm going to select the entire text. Let's change the size of the text to 32, and let's come over to properties here in the general tab. Change the height to 85, and the width is going to be 607. Oh, I'm going to change the alignment of this text to center also. Okay, let's come back to this tab. So let's go to effects and expand this. Let's come over to transparency and increase the transparency to 70%. Now turn on the visual border, expand this, change the color to white, and rounded corners is going to be 5. So let's take a moment to look like this is what this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to use my arrow key to kind of move it around. Maybe we'll have to move it when I add other elements, but for now let me just kind of place it there. And yeah, that's what our title looks like. Let's create our KPIs next. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to select a card. So let's expand our data set. So let's grab our total sale and add that here, and we're going to have this. So the total sale for the period in this data set is just $13,000 and $13,000, and I'm going to just format this. So let's format our visual. Select callout value. We're going to change the size of the text to 40, and let's change the color size to be completely black. And I'm just going to minimize this. Now we're going to turn off the category label. Let's go over to general. Under properties, change the height to 85, and the width is going to be 222. Next, let's turn on the title, and we're going to name this total sales. And I'm going to make sure that the text color is completely black, and I'm going to change the alignment to center. Now under effects, I'm going to change the transparency to 70%, and we're going to turn on the visual border. Expand this. Under color, make the color white, and we're going to make the rounded corners 5, like this. So this is what our first card looks like. Now we can now use this one to create the other KPIs. So what I'm going to do is right click, then copy, and I'm going to copy visual, and then I'm going to paste and paste another one. So we have 2 of that, and I'm going to select these 2. Now before I even move on, I'm going to select the 2 KPIs we just created, and I'm going to come over to general properties. I'm going to reduce the size to 204 for both of them, and the height should be 85. Sometimes it does that. You change the dimensions and then it will change, but it changed something else again. Okay, so now let's work on this middle one. We're going to use this one to get the average transaction value. So we want to see on average what is the value of each transaction. So let's remove this, and then we're going to get total sales again, obviously, but this time it's going to be average. And yeah, that's it. So what we're going to do now is come over to general, and want to change the title. So expand title, and we're going to change this to average transaction value. Next is going to be this one. Want to see the number of transactions, so I'm going to remove this one, and we're going to get the transaction ID, add that here, and we are going to do a distinct count, and we have 200 unique transactions. So let's now change title. Go to format chart area, go to general, and go to title. We're going to change this to number of transactions. Yeah, so now let's just align these 3. I'm just going to place this here, and I'm going to focus more on this one on the right. We can just distribute it, but even then when we create a dashboard, we still move it around. So select all 4, including the title, go to format, align, and we're going to distribute horizontally. And yeah, this is what we have. Now let's go in and build our visuals or our charts. Let's start with a line chart. So I'm just going to click on this, and we'll have a line chart like this. Okay, so let's grab the dates, and we're going to add this to the y-axis, and we can add total sale to the we can add sales to the y-axis. So let's come over here. We're going to remove year, quarter, and day. If we go back to our table view and we take a moment to look at our dates, you see that all our dates, my date is in the day, month, year format. You're going to see that our entire date falls within the same year, so there's no need to separate it into different years. We're just going to use the month. So let's go back to our report, and this is what it looks like. Now let's just format this chart. So let's format our visual. Let's start with the x-axis. So under values, we're going to make the text bold, and we're going to change the color of the text to black and turn off the title. Let's go to the y-axis, and under values, we're going to make the text bold, and we're going to make the color of our text black, and we're also going to turn off the title in the y-axis. Let's scroll down. Under grid lines, just go ahead and turn off grid lines. Now lines, let's scroll down till we get to color, and now let's change the color. Select more colors, and I'm going to type in this color. It's going to be 024 AAA, and yeah, let me just minimize, and let's go to markers, and we're going to show for all categories, and scroll down, come over to color, and we're going to select more colors, and I'm going to change this to this color, FCA 2D2. Okay, so I'm just going to minimize it. Now let's come over to general. Go to properties, change the height to 285, and width is going to be 430. Let's minimize this. Let's change the title, and this is going to be, I'm going to select everything, and this is going to just be sales trend. Let's make it bold and change the text color to black. Now we're going to also change the horizontal alignment to center. Come over to effects. Let's change the transparency of this to 70%. Turn on visual border and change the color to white, and rounded corners is going to be 5. And there you go, that is our sales trend. I'm just going to align it to the edge of this text box and then move it a bit. But yeah, this is the sales trend for our data set. So I think we have the highest sales in August and the lowest in February. Let's create our next visual. So I'm going to use a stacked column chart, which is this one. And let me just kind of bring it here. In the x-axis, we're going to put the store location, and in the y-axis, let's add the total sale. So based on this, it's already ordered from highest to lowest. Uptown has the highest sales, and we have downtown, suburb, Riverside, and finally Midtown. Okay, let's now format this. So let's come over to format our visual. Let's start with the x-axis. In values, make this bold, change the color to black, and we're going to turn off the title. And in the y-axis, let's go to values, make it bold, change the color of the text to black, and also turn off the title. Let's go down to grid lines, turn off grid lines. And in columns, expand this, and we're going to use that blue color like this. Let's go over to general. In properties, we're going to change the height to 285, and the width is going to be 400. Let's minimize this. Let's change the title. So this is going to be store location sales. Like this. Let's make the text bold, make the color black, and change your horizontal alignment to center. Finally, let's go to effects, and in background, change the transparency to 70%, and the visual border, turn on the visual border, change the color to white, and then the rounded corners is going to be 5px. And yeah, that's it for this one, and I'm going to move it, and my goal is to align it to this first KPI on the right side here. But yeah, that's our second visual. Let's create the next visual, and we're going to use a stacked column chart. So I'm just going to click on that. Next, let's grab item, put that in the x-axis, and we're going to grab total sale and put that in the y-axis. And this is what we have. So sandwich, mocha, latte, they're the top selling, and we have brownie as the last. Okay, let's format our chart. So come over to this axis, this tab, and we're going to expand the x-axis. Make the text bold and change the color of the text to black. Next, turn off the title for the x-axis and expand the y-axis. Go to values, make the text bold, make the text black, and also turn off the title for the y-axis. Let's come over to grid lines, turn off the grid lines. Go to columns, and under color, change it to that dark blue color. And we're just going to minimize this. Now go over to general. Let's come over to properties. The height currently is 285. You can go ahead to change that if that's not what you have. And I'm going to make the width 417. Let's minimize this. Let's change the title, and this is going to be sales by item. Make the text bold and change the text color to black. Okay, and one final detail, change the horizontal alignment to center. Let's go to effects, change the transparency to 70%, turn on the visual border, and we're going to change the color to white. Finally, increase the rounded corners to 5px, and I'm going to just grab this and bring it over to this side and align it like this. So this is what we have for the sales by item chart. Let's move on to the next chart, which is going to be a stacked column chart, and I'm just going to insert that. In the x-axis, we are going to have we're going to use day of the week, add that to x-axis, and we're going to have total sale in the y-axis. I want to separate this by category, so I want to say how each category performs on each day of the week. So I'm just going to add category to legend, and now we can see the spread of, we can see both the total sales by each day, and then we can now see the spread of how the two category perform. So we have drinks overwhelmingly does better, makes majority of sales, then we have food on top, which makes the other parts. But anyway, let's now go on to format our chart. So come over to general format visual, and I'm going to go over to the x-axis, make the text bold, change the color to black, and turn off the title. Let's go to the y-axis, and under values, make the text bold, and we're going to make the color black, and we are going to turn off the title. Let's turn off the legend, go over to grid lines, turn off the horizontal lines, and under columns, let's select drink first. Let's change the color to that blue color, and we're going to change food to the pink color, and I'm just going to minimize this. Let's come over to general. Let's go to properties. Height is going to be 320 and width is going to be 445, and I'm going to minimize this. Under title, this is going to be category sales by day of the week, and we're going to make the text bold, change the color of the text to black, and also change the alignments, horizontal alignments to center. Let's go to effects, change the transparency to 70%, turn on the visual border, and we are going to change the color to white and make the rounded corners 5px, And there you go, this is what we have, and I'm just going to align it and use my arrow key to move it down so that we have something like this. But yeah, that's the category sales by day of the week charts. Let's insert a donut chart to begin the next visual, and I'm just going to click on that. Let's go to payment method, and we're going to add that to legend, and for values we're going to have total sales, and we are looking at the payments method distribution. So there's an almost even distribution. The difference isn't that much. We have card at 34.02%, then we have mobile pay at 33, and cash at 32. So the distribution is almost equal across all payment methods. But anyway, let's go and format our visual. So for the legend, we are going to go over to text, make it bold, and we are going to change the color of the text to black, turn off the title, and going to minimize this. Come over to slices, select this. Now just select card, and under color we're going to change the color to that blue color. Let's go to mobile pay, change it to pink, and finally for cash we're going to use this second yellow color here. Let's minimize this. Over our detail detail labels, we're going to leave it as it is, but under values make the text bold and also change the color to black. Let's go to general, and in properties the height is currently 319, make it 320, and we're going to make the width 425. Next, go to title, and this is going to be payment method distribution. Make the text bold and change the color of the text to black, and finally change the horizontal alignment to center. Let's go to effects, and transparency is going to be 70%, and visual border I'm going to turn it off. Color is going to be white, and the rounded corners is going to be 5. And yeah, this is what I have. I'm just going to move this a little bit, but yeah, this is what the payments method distribution chart looks like. For our final chart, we're going to create a new column. So go over to table view, and under table tools we're going to create a new column. And in this formula, let's change this column to age group, and we're going to use if, and then we're going to open a square bracket, and we're going to reference the column we want to use. We're going to say that if the age is less than 25, it's going to be 18 to 24, like this. And I'm just going to put a comma. So I'm going to select this entire thing, copy it, and I'm going to paste. This time, if age is less than 35, it's going to be 25 to 34. Paste again, and if age is less than 45, and this is going to be 35 to 44. Paste again, it's going to be 55, and this is going to be 45 to 54. And then finally for this one, anything left after this group is going to be 55 plus, like this. So we have 1 2 3 4. So I'm going to close the bracket 4 times. So 1 2 3 4. So if age is less than 25, 18 to 24. If age is less than 35, 25 to 34. If age is less than 45, it's 35 to 44. If age is less than 55, it's 45 to 54. And finally, anything after that is just going to be assigned 55 plus. And I'm just going to click on enter, and there we have it. We have our age group. So I'm just going to select this drop down to make sure that we have our age groups. We have 5 age groups, and that's it. Now let's go back to the report view, and you can see here we have this new column. So we can now create our visual. For this chart, we're going to use this one, which is a clustered bar chart, and I'm going to select that. So let's grab the age group, add that to the y-axis, and total sale is going to the x-axis, and for legend let's use gender for that. So this is the distribution for age groups. We have 35 to 44 spending the highest, and we also have the 55 plus age group spending the lowest. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and format the visual. So under the y-axis, make the text bold, change the color to black, turn off title. Under the x-axis, in values, make the text bold, change the color of the text to black, and turn off title also. For legend, just go ahead and turn off the legend grid lines, turn off the vertical line, and in bars, let's come over here. In series, select female, and for color we're going to use pink, and for male we're going to use blue. Let's come over to general. Let's go to properties. Height is going to be 320 and width is going to be 378. Let's minimize this. For title, this is going to be sales by age group and gender. Make the text bold, and we're also going to change the text color to black. Change the horizontal alignment to center. Let's go to effects, change the transparency to 70%, turn on the visual border, and we're going to change the color to white and increase the rounded corners to 5px, and I'm going to align it to the right of this chart and to the bottom of this ones. So what I'm going to do finally is just select these 3 bottom charts, go to format, align, and I'm going to distribute horizontally so we have equal spacing for all our charts. But yeah, that's it. So this is what our dashboard looks like. So with Power BI, it automatically just filters everything. If you want to edit the how it does that, you can do that, but we can just take a moment to look at it. So for up down, you can use downtown. I can see all the distribution of these items, how those values change in all of this, and midtown as well. But anyway, let's see sandwich. Yeah, we can also see distributions, and we can also see the difference in total sales, number of transactions, average transaction value. You can see all of this at a glance. But anyway, that's it for this particular dashboard. As usual, I'll always encourage you at the end of all my tutorials to try other things, change the colors, maybe find a different image of your choice, or maybe I could even add them to the if I can find an appropriate image or an image that will look good, I'll add it to the link, although I'm not really sure if I'm going to do that. But you can try different backgrounds, try different color schemes, try different chart types, or whatever it is you want to change, you can go ahead and try that. But anyway, that's it for this particular tutorial. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like, share and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.